Okay, as a small child, I was a big fan of Mario Kart. Those games were a lot of fun when I was a kid, and they were so childlike and immature. Hell, even in later years, Mario Kart is still fun, to be quite honest with you. All the special powers and unique tracks and whatnot in the game, and the cars slipping on banana peels, it was wild and it was a lot of fun. But as a kid and a really big Mortal Kombat fan, I would have thought it would have been the most ridiculous thing in the world to make a Mario Kart game with Mortal Kombat characters. However, okay, so in the 3D era of Mortal Kombat, mini-games were a very strong component of each release. Like, they really loved adding random stuff to each game. Deadly Alliance reintroduced Test Your Might and Test Your Sight. I guess Test Your Sight wasn't reintroduced, but you know what I mean. Deception gave us chess combat and puzzle combat. And, well, in 2006, Mortal Kombat Armageddon gave us the strangest minigame of all time, Motor Combat. Essentially, this mode is just Mario Kart, only it has like chibi versions of Mortal Kombat characters, MK special attacks, and fatalities. Yes, nobody can really imagine killing poor Toad or Yoshi on a car track, but you could do it to Johnny Cage to your heart's content. There were 5 levels in total, each with its own unique look and feel, just like the stages in Mario Kart. Boraicho's Brewery, the Outworld Refinery, the Botan Jungle, the Lost Pyramid, my god, and the Lin Kuei Raceway. Lin Kuei Raceway. Say that 5 times fast. The Lin Kuei and Boraicho stages were by far the easiest 2 in the game. Boraicho's being the only stage that didn't have a death trap, thank god to be quite honest. And while the Lin Kuei stage did have death traps, they were super easy to avoid. The Botan Jungle and the Outworld Refinery is more of what you would expect from this type of game, with the death traps that fit the look and feel of the stages. Looking at a stage with a bunch of fire, lava, and flames, you would expect to be getting cooked at some point playing this if you stepped into the wrong space, or drove in it, I should say. But the Lost Pyramid, my god, this level had to have been made in like the deepest depths of the Netherrealm. There were so many ways to die in this stage. Falling in a hole, falling off the stage, getting crushed by a roller, it's all just annoying as hell. And remember, on top of that, each character still has their own special moves, just like they would in a regular Mortal Kombat fight. Speaking of which, oh, and by the way, like and subscribe if you haven't. The roster is of 10 characters and only 8 of them race at a time when you're playing. You have Baraka, Johnny Cage, Katana, Melina, Raiden, Jax, Boraicho, and of course, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. The omission of a Liu Kang car really bothers me in this game, but whatever, I'll allow it. They each do attacks that you would expect from that character, all except for Melina, who for whatever reason was made to be a cheat code that has her own special speed boost. I guess that sort of replicate her ball roll that she has. Whatever the case, it's not fair. Note there's speed boosts all on each and every stage in the game. Some abilities work better than others. I mentioned Melina's, but Katana's and Raiden's you have to be right up on someone to be able to use any of theirs. Then you have Scorpion and Sub-Zero's who can hit theirs at a distance, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. You're gonna have a time trying to aim that. Or you could use Cyrax, who drops bombs that detonate behind him, which sometimes can be wildly unfair and piss you off if you're right behind him. The game is just wild. At a glance, it all seems very, very stupid, I'm not gonna lie to you. However, once you actually play it, it's a lot more difficult to put the controller down. When I first played MK Armageddon, I never even wanted to touch that mode. I thought it was stupid and I thought it was a dumb replacement for chess combat, which admittedly I also had the same exact feelings for. Once I played the game, I couldn't get away from it. I became obsessed with getting first place after being robbed at the last second so many times by Jax. I still hate Jax in this game, but it's so addicting. It's the same feeling I said previously about chess combat, where on its face, admittedly, it has to be one of the dumbest, most un-Mortal Kombat things that could ever be done. But it's fun as hell. And it's not all for nothing, as playing the game mode still earns you coins in the crypt, which, as we all know by this point with Mortal Kombat, is how you unlock all the special items in the game. So that's also cool. I almost wish this game had more levels. The ones present are already so much fun, it just would be even better if it had more to just like plow through. This mode had to be like one of the craziest things I can recall being added to MK this side of Test Your Luck, which is a mode that also needs to make a return in Mortal Kombat. But I really want this back, just like I want Conquest mode back and chess combat back. But being honest, I do feel like this mode could be a lot more feasible to do. It wouldn't need crazy graphics, it would pretty much just need to be a slight update from 2006, but not too much. The graphics would just need to be upped up a touch with like the blood splatters and whatnot, and maybe touch up the characters a little bit more if you want to, but given the nature of the game, you kinda don't have to. Just give us a few more characters and some more wild ass levels, and hell, even add a special move per character if you want to make the game even more wacky. Actually, in hindsight, scratch that idea. That would be horrible. I couldn't imagine playing this game if the characters had even more special abilities. That would just be too much. Could you imagine Scorpion's car teleporting? But as usual, this is just my opinion. Tell me in the comments below, did you like Mortal Kombat? Motor Combat. Almost felt like I was still saying Mortal Kombat at this point. And if you played it, what would you change about the game, if anything at all? Again, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and you all have a good one, and I'm out.